Good day, young philosophers, and welcome again to COR 15, Introduction to Philosophy of the Human Person. This is your philo master, Sir Gerson. For today's lesson, Module 8, Exploring Man's Embodiment according to Rene Descartes. But before we proceed to our lesson, let's identify the objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to explain the insight of Rene Descartes on the composition of man. It's time to learn philosophy. Philosophy now. How's your day, young philosophers? It is good to know that you are doing just fine. Anyway, today we will move further with our lesson. But before anything else, let me share you about our productivity tip. Always suspend your judgment. For you to be able to understand the insight of a philosopher, suspend your prior judgment, your biases and prejudices about a topic, and let the philosopher speak. Before we formally start, however, we will first have a review of what we discussed last meeting. I would like to determine if the statements are true or false. Get your pen and paper to answer the activity for a minute. Ready, set, and go. Number 1. For Aristotle, the human person is a unity of body and soul. True or false? Number 2. For Plato, the soul is the giver of life of the body. True or false? For Aristotle, the soul is a self-initiating motion. True or false? Number 4. Plato said that man is a body. True or false? Number 5. Aristotle said that there are 3 kinds of soul. True or false? Okay, great job everyone! Now, let's check your answer. For number 1, true. For number 2, false. For number 3, false. For number 4, false. And number 5, true. Great job everyone! You are doing great. I believe you got a perfect score. Congratulations! And now, let's proceed to man's embodiment according to Rene Descartes. But first, let us find out who is this Rene Descartes-like philosopher is. Who is Rene Descartes? Rene Descartes was a French philosopher and mathematician and scientist who invented analytic geometry. According to Descartes, God's existence is established by the fact that Descartes has a clear and distinct idea of God. He is famous for having made an important connection between geometry and algebra. Cogito ergo sum, or in Latin, which means I think therefore I am, coined by French philosopher Rene Descartes in his Discourse on Method in 1637 as a first step in demonstrating attainability of a certain knowledge. In addition to that, Descartes believed in basically clearing everything off the table, all preconceived and inherited notions, and starting fresh, putting back one by one the things that were certain, which for him began with the statement, I exist. From this sprang his most famous quote, I think, therefore I am. And now, let's explore man's embodiment according to Rene Descartes. First statement, according to Rene Descartes, everything that we know is made possible because of our senses. This entails that without our senses, we will not know anything. Next, we know something because we have our senses. That's right. Now, our senses can be deceived and can deceive us. Next, everything that we know is made possible because of our senses. And our senses can be deceive us and can deceive us. Then everything that we know is not certain. They are doubtable. Rene Descartes said that we must doubt everything. This is the methodic doubt of Rene Descartes. To explain these 4 statements in general aspect, Descartes first invokes the errors of the senses in the meditations to generate doubt. He suggests that because the senses sometimes deceive, we have reason not to trust them. In doubting everything, however, there is something which we cannot doubt. That is, that we are doubting. We can never doubt that we are doubting. That more we doubt that we are doubting, the more it shows that we are doubting. Descartes said, I doubt, therefore I exist. This means that we are doubting beings. Now, doubting is an aspect of thinking. Hence, we think, therefore we exist. Since thinking is not a physical activity, then it is an activity of the soul. Therefore, we are souls. We are thinking beings. How about our bodies? For Descartes, the body is simply man's instrument in living in this world. To give a clearer picture, a human was, according to Descartes, a composite entity of mind and body. Descartes gave priority to the mind and argued that the mind could exist without the body, but the body could not exist without the mind. I believe that you have learned so much from this, young philosophers. Alright? Now let's move to our philo quiz. Are you ready? Yes, we are. I would like you to determine if the statements are true or false. Get your pen and paper to answer the activity for a minute. Ready, set, and go. Number 1. Following Rene Descartes, man is a body and soul. True or false? Number 2. Descartes' methodic doubt mandates us to doubt everything. True or false? Number 3. For the Descartes, the more we doubt, the more we cannot doubt that we doubt. 4. For Descartes, the body is simply man's instrument in living in this world. True or false? Number 5. For Descartes, the body is not part of man. True or false? Great job, everyone! Now, here are the answers for our philo quiz. For number 1, the answer is false. 2. True. Number 3, the answer is true. Number 4, true. And number 5, true. Great job, young philosophers. I'm sure you got a perfect score. My dear philosophers, I hope you have learned something today about the composition of man by Rene Descartes. But before we end, I'd like to leave with you with some wise words from Rene Descartes. Conquer yourself rather than the world. That's a very beautiful quote from Rene Descartes. Thank you very much, young philosophers. Let us always remember our hashtag spread the love of wisdom. Thank you, stay safe, and God bless everyone.